Hey everybody, what is going on? It has been a long time coming, but we've got the car back finally. It's been about a month and a half. Wanted to have a video where things were finished, complete, done. Unfortunately, that is still not the case. While we do have the car back, we're still working on trying to get resolution as far as the car being gone for 2 months. But it is what it is. But rather than delaying things and waiting until things are finally resolved, because who knows how long this stuff can take, I figured I'd put out a little video. Let's go over the car real quick. So here's my Rift Metallic 2021 V that had a pretty short life before it went into the shop. It's got the jet black wheels, and they're a pretty nice option. Not necessarily a make it or break it option, but it's a pretty nice option. The exterior differences between the 2020s, there's not much, really, just the color, and I'm pretty sure this is only available on the 21 model year. But like I wanted to do before the car went bye-bye for so long, let's take a look inside. Okay, so inside the 2021 V, like I said, there wasn't too many differences and changes between the 20 and the 21 model year, except the biggest being this awesome digital gauge cluster. This kind of brings it up in line with the BMWs, Mercedes, Audis, its competition, and really brings a greater sense of kind of luxury sports sedan to the car. Turning it on, you get a really nice animation that starts up. It'll start up depending on whatever mode you had the vehicle shut off in. In my other video, I kind of ran through these really quickly, but now that I have had a little bit more time to kind of go through and mess around with these a bit more, and learn a little bit more as far as the differences go, because with the inclusion of this gauge cluster, they made some changes to the V mode specifically that I think solved a little bit of a pain point with a lot of people with regards to performance traction management. So in my first video that I did with this, I had some people commenting about not really liking the gray lines that were in the gauge cluster. As you can see, when we go to track mode, they are still there. It on the black background, yeah, I gotta say I do kind of agree. It would have been, I think it would have been a little bit nicer if it would have just been black, and it would kind of blend it a little bit nicer into the background. But it is coming through a little bit more in the video than it is in person. It's not quite, the contrast isn't quite as big of a difference. So going through a little bit more, the options here with the configurable option, which this screen, these screens over here, is what is configurable. If we go over into the info tiles, you can choose which data you want to appear there, and then you can also choose where you want it to appear as well. So for my mode, I'm looking at the engine boost, oil temp, tire pressure, and having the time there with temperature. It is what it is. It's all configurable to whatever you want to see. In touring mode, it's a little bit different. You don't have the little quad quad tiles. You only have one info tile, and so it's just the one screen. and whatever you select, that will be the one kind of configuration that you might want to see. You can do your engine boost, your fuel economy, whatever, and it'll give a little bit more of a gauge than it does in any of the other modes, since it is the only data kind of screen that's there. On the sport mode and the track mode, aside from the animations and the configurable data options, there's not too much difference there. But when we go into the different modes, it does tell you on the infotainment screen, it gives you a little idea of what you're selecting. So in touring mode here, shift over to this, and the sun is really bright. So we're gonna kind of, let's close this. That's good. There we go. That's much better. Okay. So when we go into, we're in tour mode right now, and when we move into sport mode, so it's going to tell you exactly what settings are being changed, and you can see there's a PTM option there. We'll get to that in just a second here. And then when you go into your track mode, kind of tells you again everything's set up, but again there's no PTM there. For the V mode, however, when I select my V mode, I one tap, but you push it again, and now the performance traction management that you have personally configured is now turned on. So that means no having to double tap your traction control just at the right time with the right speed. You don't have to do all that for your V mode. Just double tap your V button and it puts it on for you, and then just choosing your mode will change your performance traction. Very nice. I really appreciate that. Pushing V again takes out of performance traction management and takes you back into touring mode. The setting for that is really nice. So if we go into the settings, to the vehicle, all the way down into drive mode customization, on V mode, you can choose and kind of slide these wherever you want it. Really nice, an absolutely phenomenal choice to add that into the configuration. You also kind of have a similar way of choosing your My Mode configuration as well. So just wanted to really quick go over that. That is a absolutely phenomenal change and modification that they did to the gauge cluster system in here. That a little bit of quality of life and a lot of bit of convenience. There's a small look at some of the changes between the 2020s and the 2021s. Actually, that's probably all the big changes between the 2020 and the 2021s, at least from what I've seen and what I've noticed between my car and one of the loaner cars that I had, and some other reviews and videos that I've seen online for the 2021s. But I think the digital dash and the couple small changes that they made to the infotainment center are a pretty big difference with improving the kind of that perceived value of the car. It definitely makes it feel a lot higher end inside than it did with the analog gauges and the small little 7-inch display that was in the car. If there's anything that anybody would like to see with the 2021s, if any of the gauge clusters specifically, let me know, and I'll do what I can and try and get a little bit more detail as you guys request it. But hope you guys stick around for some more videos in the future. Hopefully we're gonna start uploading videos a little bit more frequently, So I will talk to y'all later.